Hey guys, just a quick one. I want to show some stuff that I've been working on. I want a way to map textures onto CG renders so I can do like grunge maps and masks for grading and stuff. So I had this idea of manipulating a UV pass to map textures back on and then do like texture bombing. So you can do tiling textures and then do variations on them and to break the tiling. You can do that in shaders in Blender quite easily, but I wanted a way to do it in Fusion on top of renders. So if you have a look at these two images here, I have a render of a plane, and then I'm getting the position pass. So it's just a red, green, blue colored image that depicts the position of the plane in 3D space. And I'm making sure in my render 3D that I'm rendering world position and normals. And the texture bomber that I made, I'm calling it the Tri-planar Texture Bomber, basically just maps the texture back onto the position. Now, there's nothing new and interesting about this. You can already do this in Fusion with the texture node and using the UV pass, but the texture bomber actually manipulates the UVs, or the position pass rather, to create variants within the tiles as well. So you can tile the individual patterns, but you can also rotate them, and you can introduce random scale to each one of them and random rotation. So you can kind of bomb textures and break sort of the repeating patterns of texture that are non-tileable. So I wanted to take this a little bit further and do a triplanar projection with it. So that's what I created here. And in essence, this is a render of my city scene. And then I'm doing the same thing. I'm getting the world space position. I'm manipulating the coordinates to create tileable UVs. Then I'm mapping a bit of texture on it. In this case, it's a bit of grunge or metal map. But as you can see, it's just tiling one axis. So the idea is to do this for all the other axes as well. So one for X, one for Y, and one for Z. And then you do the same texture bombing and mapping for each one of them. And then using the normals, I'm just calculating sort of the normals and using that as a mask to blend all the textures together. And let's turn it down even more. And let's say this is a pretty good texture resolution for like mapping the grunge texture onto your scene. So imagine this is a CG render where included comes the world position pass and the normal pass. So let's say this can be a render from Houdini or from Blender or from Maya or whatever. But what we can do now is apply this tiling texture and start to break the tiling pattern with introducing random scale to each one of the tiles in all three axes at the same time, and introduce random rotation to them. And you can see now it's much harder to see where the texture actually tiles. And what I've done is just wrap this up in a little node that I'm calling STX Tri-planar Texture Bomber, and it's available for free on Patreon, and I'm going to be putting it up on Reactor pretty soon. So hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys soon.